This is MLS, the latest edition. We are back, baby. Kev Egan alongside Bradley Wright-Phillips and Sacha Kljestan. Fellas, what's the crack? This is my first time on the show here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little excited to be alongside you two yet again. We've traveled the world together. We've had many a coffees, many a beers together over our time. And we've got a lot of chats we probably want to get into here on the show too.
This is the first time I've ever seen Kevin Egan not wearing a suit. This is crazy.
I picture he's like Stewie Griffin, from Family Guy. He's always got like a suit. It's nice, right? Just wearing a t-shirt.
I am a little sore though. I must admit, I played 11-a-side men's league on Sunday. We were back on a rare Sunday, and I ended up playing full 90 minutes in our local town here. Bang average standard. You two would have been laughing at me, but I'm walking off the pitch afterwards, and I see two lads coming in, right? You'd want to see them. Slick, like black hair, coming in with sunglasses on, and they've got in one hand their mates, and in the other hand they've got their toiletry bags. You're going to the pitch in the park with your toiletry bags, lads.
Was it Luis Suarez and Leo Messi walking in?
Yeah. I know. Is this a trend or what's the deal, Brad? Talk to me, pal.
I'm sorry, and I don't know the guy. If they're your friends, I apologize.
No, they're not. I don't know who they are.
It's unacceptable. Where are you going with the wash bag? And also, why you got mate with you walking? No one's videoing you coming off the bus.
And it was about 100 degrees.
And there's probably no plumbing at the park where you're playing, so you're not getting a shower.
Oh my god!
Things like that annoy me. Just go and play football.
First of all, Kevin playing 11v11. I don't know if I could do it anymore. I did it in the Open Cup earlier this season. Brad didn't because he faked an injury in like the first 5 minutes of the game.
That's a lot.
Remember that?
So Kevin and I have played 90 minutes in a game recently, Bradley. And you haven't in about 5 years.
Where'd you play, Kev? What position?
Centre back. So at the start, I don't know these lads, and at the start they put me centre midfield. And for this is where my appreciation for what you guys do and did as someone who's never played professionally grows immensely. When you put me in the center of midfield, I have no idea about my bearings. I have no idea who's around me. I'm too afraid to look because it takes too long for me to scan. You know what I mean? So when someone plays me the ball, I have no idea, so I panic. So I'm better off with the match all in front of me. And I'm much better. And I'm a talker on the pitch. Surprise, surprise. So I'm much better off with the game in front of me, and at least I can try and play from there. But central midfield, man.
The bench. You sound more suited for the bench, the way you described that game.
Fair point.
Runner coming from the left. Watch out for that man in front. Watch MLS Season Pass on Saturday at 6:30.
I'm sorry, guys. We got to go.
Hashtag MLS 360. Oh, I'm telling you. A bit sore, but I loved every second of it. I love this game, whether we're talking about it, whether we're kicking a ball, maybe even pick a ball at the weekend as well. Absolutely love it. But fellas, this weekend, and I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Anybody watching live on the chat right now, please get involved. We'll get your comments straight up as quickly as we can, some of the best ones. This weekend for me, I was so proud as someone who loves the league and as someone who's been living in America since 2009 and been part of broadcasting MLS since 2012 with the Chicago Fire initially. Shout out Chicago Fire, the brand new top here. This is absolutely class. Collaboration with Gente Fina. Go get yours. Chicago Fire, chicago-fire.com. I was so proud of how exciting it was at a time when I've started to somewhat, maybe I'm being a bit too honest here, question just the excitement level of a lot of games that I end up watching. I'm a Villa fan. Villa haven't scored this season. 4 games in the Premier League. I watched the Manchester Derby. I've watched games from other leagues too. It's not just a Premier League thing. And I've been left wanting more, just from a sheer entertainment perspective, right? And then we have MLS at the weekend. And I just thought it was mayhem. 57 goals. And some of the biggest headlines coming out of it for me were just the personality of individuals. From Son talking NFL, to Dean Smith doing the Poznan with the billionaire owner David Tepper in attendance. There were just so many aspects to the game. 4 different hat-tricks scored. Sash, what do you feel, man? Because are you with me on this in any way that our league, for the flaws that it has, fair enough, the league has a long way to go in certain areas. However, when it comes to the bonkers nature of MLS, it's beautiful.
Kev, I loved it. I loved MLS this weekend, but I love MLS. It's my favorite league in the world, and people can laugh sometimes when I say that because they say, oh, what about the Premier League or La Liga? MLS is my favorite league in the world. It is pure entertainment. It is chaos. Let's be honest. Our attackers in MLS are higher paid than all of the defenders. Our attackers are better than the defenders in our league. So we see some great goals. 4 hat-tricks on Saturday. If you're not watching your team play on Saturday night, you should be watching MLS 360. And I know that's a plug for a show that the 3 of us are on, but honestly, 57 goals over the course of 5 hours. There's one point where there are 10 games going on, and we are just going from goal to goal to goal to goal. The personalities, some of the players. I thought Saturday night was one of the most fun match nights we've ever had in MLS. Just watching Buwanga pick up a hat trick, Diego Rossi get a first half hat trick. He literally scored his third goal as he kind of pulled his hamstring a little bit. He was injured. Unbelievable night. It was awesome.
I love this conversation. And it's a conversation, I don't want to sound like a crazy man, but I have with myself. Sacha, I spoke to you about this. But just watching football, and again, I'm like a big Premier League man. I'm a big Arsenal fan, but...
You used to play in the Premier League, Bradley.
I did. And I watched Liverpool, Arsenal, not too long ago. Two biggest teams in the world right now. Best players playing some of the best football. It was boring.
Why?
It's boring. Because two teams are scared to lose. Teams are scared to fail. They're scared to mess up. And it's not enjoyable to watch. Now, I think as MLS fans and what we do for MLS and everyone in the chat, we need to stop trying to even compare and say, we have a long way to go to them. Let's just lean into what we bring. And that's excitement. You can't predict an MLS game. We're the experts, Sacha and Kev, that are supposed to know what's going to happen on the weekend or who's going to win the Shield.
No idea.
That's why I turn up all the time, because I want to know what's going to happen this week. And we have to lean into
look
that.
at
Unbelievable. Last weekend was.
Look at the Supporter Shield standings right now, and let's who are the top 6, right? Okay, Philly didn't make the playoffs last season. We had no idea what they would be this year. Yeah, San Diego didn't exist last season. We thought they'd all finish last. Cincinnati is the one team in the East that we thought would compete for the Supporter Shield, and they're there.
Yeah.
Minnesota had no idea what to expect. They are themselves. They fought them into the Supporter Shield conversation. Who else we got at the top right here? Who am I missing right now? Charlotte winning 9 straight games, on the verge of breaking an MLS record over 30 years to be the first team to win 10 games in a row. We all did our predictions at the beginning of the season. We all get at least 50% of them wrong, and that's the beauty and the chaos of this league. You come into every season. I went into every season that I played in Major League Soccer and thought, I'm winning MLS Cup this year. That's my goal. My goal is not to survive. My goal is not to, avoid relegation. My goal is to come in and win the league this year, and every team thinks that.
It's amazing, man.
Even 7-0. I mean, 7-0. This one blew my mind. Against the top team in the league.
Crazy.
The top team in the league went in, and there's people that will find a flaw in that. Good for you. Go for it. But I actually find the enjoyment in it. The fact that Vancouver put on an unbelievable performance without, I might add, Brian White, their leading goal scorer, and Ryan Gauld, who's been missing for the majority of the season. Thomas Muller hat-trick afterwards. What'd you make of his post-game chat for us on wrap-up? I mean, mic drop as well, Brad.
This guy's amazing.
He is.
He's fun to watch, but I'm just waiting for the end of the game so I can hear what he says. He says some random stuff. He talks from the heart. It isn't spoke to before by the media guy saying, say this, make sure you touch this. He's just talking.
His man Dow were there too. His parents were there. It was his birthday.
It's refreshing, man. Even his goal celebrations, how he does like an old school dances. He's just a great character, man. It's so fun to watch.
But what a birthday. Did you guys ever have any birthday goals or any moments like that?
Dude, I spent so many of my birthdays on international duty with the national team, because it's always in that September window. And I do remember, I think it was 2016 or 17, where we played on my birthday in Chicago. Brad, I don't know if you remember this, but I assisted for you. We ended up drawing 1-1, but it was about 8 minutes into the game. A little header across the box, tap in for Bradley. So we got a little connection on my birthday one time.
I got you an assist for your birthday. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome, man. Happy birthday.
Even though you scored it from 2 yards out. Yeah, you're welcome.
That's normal. That's normal. That's my story. I actually do remember a game. It was 2016 as well. My birthday, I think we played away to Montreal, lost 3-0. So, yeah, it was not a good birthday.
One of my favorite moments of the weekend, guys, was watching Countdown. And Sash, you were on the show. And Brad and I were watching as Heung-Min joined the show live. And you guys had him talking NFL fantasy football. Yeah. And this goes back to nearly the broader conversation of entertainment within our game and the personalities that sometimes we don't see, because players tend to, for lack of a better way of saying it, just keep it on the fairway, play it safe in the way they speak to the media. They're media trained. They've got so many managers and PR staff around them. Yet their son on MLS Countdown on Apple TV talking with you guys about NFL fantasy. I mean, how cool was that? What a great guy.
Well, first of all, it's called fantasy football, not NFL fantasy, but I'll teach you that too.
By the way, stop talking for 1 second.
I'm with you,
Brad, how annoying are Sasha and Brad at the weekends now? Now the NFL is back. Sorry, that's what I meant.
We're in the green room. We're in the green room. They're talking about players they're traded or whatever. It's rubbish. NFL, it's not even a real sport. But go on, son. NFL.
Listen, I got to tell you from my perspective, I'm doing the interview with Son, right? I feel bad asking him these questions because it's 90 minutes before a big game, right? Yeah. But I also want to draw his personality out for everybody in the world to see that he's more than just a footballer, right? He's a human being. That's 90 minutes of his life that you're going to watch of him. But the other 23 hours of the day, he's a normal guy like the rest of us, right? And so I'm trying to draw that out of him while also trying to help him stay focused that he's got a big game in front of 50,000 fans. Yeah. It didn't matter. 40 seconds into the game, he scores a goal, right? So I'm going to be asking him about fantasy football every week if we have him on the show. But I thought it's just awesome that he's arrived in the States. He's been here for, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
He understands American culture already. And I got to give credit to Aaron Long, Ryan Hollingshead at LAFC. They've pulled him in right away. Even though he's this massive global superstar, hey, play fantasy football with the boys, probably go out for a team dinner. Let's go have a beer, whatever. Like that's part of what we don't always see, in the public. Brad and I were athletes. We're human beings, normal guys, right? And so I love to see that side of Son.
He's different, though. He's different in that sense, in the best way possible, because the superstars don't always want to be led in that way. And Ryan Hollingshead and Aaron Long rightly should get credit for helping him out there a little bit. But Brad, you were in a dressing room with Thierry Henry. I'd imagine that it's not easy to just say to a superstar, right, come on, we're all going for dinner here, or we're playing fantasy football or whatever else. How difficult is it?
I was definitely not brave enough to tell Thierry to join the fantasy football league. No, I wouldn't do that. But you're right. It's hard for those kind of players that, have the stature they have had, the career they've had, to just let go. It's not normal. They've got to where they are by being focused, by locking in, day out. So when you ask them to come out of that comfort zone, it can be difficult to them. That is one thing I do like about America, though. Even when I first came here, you got media walking into the locker room. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Get out. Like, this is a private space, but as you're here longer, you understand that this is how it works here. And then your personality, like Sacha's talking about, gets brought out in these interviews on the camera. And I think it's something that you should embrace when you come here. But like you said, Kev, it's not always easy to get that out of the top guys.
Yeah, but personalities are starting to fall by the wayside in world soccer as well, though, Kev. And I think we've got some great ones in Major League Soccer that show themselves week in and week out, whether they're talking to us on Countdown or whether they're just playing the game. Yeah. We see the game has become so tactical and so robotic around the world that, and you're playing
why is that for you, Sash?
Well, I think it's just the way the game has moved in certain years. There's so much involved in every single game. Scouting is better now, right? The video analysts, the analysis of games is better now. The preparation for every team, the data, the fitness coaches, everything. The athletes have turned into prime athletes, whereas I think back in the day we had a little bit more personalities on the field. But give the ball to that guy, he's going to make some magic. Obviously, and in an MLS, the league of the 10, with tons of number 10 players that do that, we have a lot of guys in our league like that I think you lack around the world.
Yeah, but it's such a good point. Like, no, Brad, lean into that for a second if we can, because I love the fact that MLS promotes the 10, and we see 10s all the time in Major League Soccer. Going back to my early days of watching MLS, I loved watching a guy like Javier Morales, who was just a wizard on the ball. But I think the 10, Sacha, position that you played for a lot of your career, not disappearing, but maybe it doesn't seem as important as it once was. There was a time when the 10 was the first player on the team sheet for every team. And yet at the weekend, we had the perfect example. Pep Biel is now available again for Charlotte. They've won 9 straight games, largely without Pep Biel, who's been injured. They have a robust midfield, a hard-working midfield with Gianni, Westwood, and Brandt Bronico. Are we going to see Pep Biel going forward on the bench here? The Spaniard, he's been absolutely brilliant, an MVP candidate earlier on this season. But how does that player fit in that system that's been winning games, Brad?
Can I answer this as an analyst and then just as a selfish football player?
Please.
So, as the analyst, with what Dean Smith has done with Charlotte and how well they've played, the team is working perfectly. I don't think Pep Biel should walk back into the side. I also think maybe him sitting on the bench puts that fire in his belly. Somehow he has to get into the team. Guess what? That means he trains harder. You know what I mean? He's going to want to get back into the team. That's only good for Dean Smith. As the player, let's just go to my career. I'm like what I done for Red Bull. If I'm out for a while and someone comes in and scoring goals, you best believe I want to be in that starting lineup. Don't forget what I done for most of that season.
100%.
Please don't forget what I done, But right now they're winning and it's an important part of the season. We're going into playoffs.
Where does he play? Who drops out, Brad? If
anyone's going to drop out, it's going to be Bronico or Vargas. I don't think you can drop Bronico.
Two very different players, though. So what are you doing?
Are, but Pep Biel, he can go in those spots. I'm not dropping him. I'm leaving Bronico in that starting line. I'm leaving everything as it is. And Pep Biel
can they eventually drop Diani out, move Bronico back a little bit, and then you play Pep Biel back as the number 10? Listen, I'm with Bradley, though. I don't think you can change a winning team that's won 9 games in a row. You just can't. And that's just tough on Pep Biel when he's one of those personalities we talk about. When he gets that ball in his sweet left foot, he cuts in from that right side, drops that little ball behind the back line. It's among the best in Major League Soccer. But I've also been through it as a player. If you get dropped for some reason, the team goes on a winning streak. And I've also been on the reverse of it. When I was at Anderlecht and I first got there, I showed up late to the season one year because I played in the Gold Cup for the United States. So I showed up to start the season on a Thursday, and our first game was Saturday. I knew I wasn't going to start that first game. And we went on the road to a bottom of the table type team, and we lost. And so I went straight back into the lineup for the second game of the season. And we went on
this when they lost.
Yeah.
He was like,
you're on the bench sometimes thinking,
hating a little bit.
If they start winning a bunch of games, it's not my fault I had to show up late to the season. I was playing in the Gold Cup, and the Belgian league that season started early. Yeah. But they lost that game. I got in the team. I stayed in the team for the entire rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really just change a winning team especially for a guy who's been out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And in Dean Smith, we trust at this point, I think. And Charlotte fans, look, Corey Almanzi comments here in the chat saying, Charlotte fan here, Gianni draws the short stick. So it would be Bronico for him alongside Westwood in midfield, and maybe Pep Biel comes in. Dean Smith doing the Poznan with Tepper in the crowd, that was one of the all-time moments for me this season. Just so cool because it's uniquely MLS. We're not seeing that. I don't think we're seeing that in other leagues around the world right now. The coach suspended up in the stands, watching his team beat Messi in Miami 3-0, and then deciding to have fun with it.
That's a real Englishman, Kev. That's a real Englishman, man. If you're
he's
not working,
loving life, isn't he,
fun.
Smith, right now?
If you're not working, you're having fun. What do you want me to do? Sit up in the box and be bored and act like I'm phoning people? No, I'm up here partying. I'm watching a great team right now. I'm partying.
I'd have my hand around billionaire owner David Tepper too and be like, give me a new contract. Give me a new contract.
He's a smart man. He's smart. No, that was class to see, though.
He's smart because earlier on this season, he dropped Christian Kalina at a time when he wasn't playing well. He's brought him back in. Sash, Kalina has been next level of late. All the advanced analytics point to Kalina's top performances coinciding with Charlotte's positive performances and victories on this 9-match winning run. And his moment when he just stood tall, stared down Lionel Messi and stopped the Panenka. What were you feeling in the moment?
Wow, the three of us were in the studio watching this moment, and we said two of the most informed players in Major League Soccer are going up against each other right now. Yeah. Obviously, Messi has the advantage. He's the one who's taking the penalty, but I love what Kalina said after the game. He said, done my homework, noticed that Messi, since he's come to MLS, likes to take his time and watch the goalkeeper, so I tried to stay still as long as possible.
Really? I didn't see that.
And then I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, what a moment for me in my career. Like, that's a highlight that no one can ever take that away. No, you right. Saved the Messi penalty. Not only that, Charlotte went down the other end and about 90 seconds later, flipped that game and took the 1-0 lead. So that was awesome. I love that moment.
BWP, 2-time Golden Boot winner. Tokla Madi, his game. Like, what kind of gut feeling do you get when you watch this guy play right now?
When you first asked me that question, you say gut feeling. I think a full season, he gets you 15 to 20. Full season. Yeah. That's my gut feeling. I don't see many negatives in his game right now. And with this experience he's getting, he's got service behind him. So when you're as efficient as he is in the box and you have wide players like Pep Biel to come back, Wilfred Zaha, you're going to get chances. And I have the maximum confidence that he's going to put them away. He's aerial Billy. I think he's 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
Second to none. He gets up there. Not only can he jump and head the ball, he's aggressive. When there's a ball out wide or it's a corner kick, he's making himself the one to, go and win that ball, get across defenders. He can score in a few ways. And yeah, like I said, with a full season, him starting every game, 20 goals wouldn't surprise me.
Brad, he's got 11 league goals already.
I know.
He's not even started half the games. He might get to 15 this season with the run that they're on right now.
No, he's the truth.
He is the truth, and he's the one for the future, no doubt, with Charlotte. You know who else is the truth right now? We have to touch on it here on this show. This mic drop moment, and I'm not talking about Thomas Muller post-game from Evander. The closest thing you'll see to a walk-off home run in our beautiful game. 98th minute, 6-7 seconds left on the clock. Buka involved, Echenike involved, and Evander, Sash, with a moment in front of the Bailey that is an MVP moment. I mean, these are the moments that we all think about when we're voting for MVP at the end of the season.
Did you mean to say 6-7, like 7 seconds left? Do you even get that? No. Do you know what that means?
No.
Brad, do you?
I've seen the recent. Yes.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
It's we'll this, kids. It's this. Yeah. All my kids do is walk around the house going 6-7.
I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what you're on about.
Yeah,
K-pop Demon Hunters.
You're K-pop Demon. There you go. Your kids are too young, Kev. Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
Evander. Unbelievable personality. What a player. What a moment that Cincinnati needed, right? They had gone the last 3 games without scoring a goal at home. That's absurd to think about a team that's still in the Supporter Shield race that could go 3 games in a row without scoring at home. Sick play all around. Echenike to Buka. Buka holds it up like he's a striker in the box, little back heel. And these are the moments that big players get remembered for. These are the moments when it comes to MVP voting. We are going to remember that moment where Cincinnati needs it. If they can go on these next 4 or 5 games and win them and get to the Supporter Shield, that's a moment that we are never going to forget. And if you're a Cincinnati fan, just bask it in, like right in front of the supporters section. That was awesome.
No, it's unbelievable. There's one thing, when we talk about these top players, and Evander obviously being one of them, there's one thing scoring and having a hand in wins in the, throughout the season. But the best players turn up when they're supposed to. And that's why we love Messi, because he scores last minute free kicks. You know what I mean? And Evander done that this past weekend. When they needed him, when their team's in a little bit of trouble, and you say, yeah, they need to rely on Evander. Well, guess what? You can rely on him. He turns up with an assist and a goal, and that's what separates him from a lot of, a lot of players in this league.
You guys say something on the show all the time that I'd love you to dive in on a little bit. You say they know how to slow things down in their mind. And Evander, in moments like this, always looks so casual. It's the last kick of the game. Yeah. And he sweeps the ball in with ease in that moment, Brad. What is it about trying to slow the brain down and just be yourself in these moments of massive urgency?
It's not an easy thing to do. If you ask Evander just with no pressure at training to take that shot, he's going to score. The difference is when you get in front of your home crowd and there's thousands of people shouting, the pressure's been building all game, you're tired. It's about relying and backing your technique and just remembering, I don't want to make it sound too basic, but remembering how to hit the ball. When you're playing in the park, you don't snatch at things. Just because it's last minute in a game, you don't start to snatch at things now. And he has that. He has that composure in the toughest moments. He's fun to watch. I used to say to Sash, I think I've repeated this a few times, if Evander cared, this was a couple of seasons ago, if he cared, he would be amazing. He'll be an MVP. And then I realized, no, this is just his playing style. Yeah. This is how he plays football. And it helps him in moments like you're talking about, the last minute in that game where he can keep a clear and calm mind.
Kev, I think there are moments like that with Evander, moments I've had in my career where you don't have time to think. You just rely on your muscle memory. The ball is coming across to you inside the box. Like that, you have to take the shot. Sometimes I remember playing in games where I've scored a goal and I've thought it kind of happened one way, and then I watch it back on video and it's like it's a little bit different than I thought happened in the game because I wasn't thinking in the game. And then I watch it back and I'm like, oh yeah, it did kind of get around that guy a little bit more. Or I did take that touch really quickly. You know what I'm talking about, Bradley? Where sometimes you don't even think. There are times in the game where you're looking and you're thinking a lot and you're examining plays and you're analyzing. And then there are moments in the game that happen like that. And you're just like, how did I do that? Because you don't know how you did it because your body just does it.
That's where I was the best. If I didn't have to think too much, if it's inside the box, then I can, I can surprise myself. Give me too much time to think, I'm gonna look like Kev Egan out there.
Fair point. Facts, as you say. You know who tends to do that, I think, and I hope you'll agree with me on this, is Diego Luna. The way he trapped the ball at the weekend to score, you talked about it on 360, Brad, saying he had to kind of cushion it with the studs nearly to take the pace off the ball. And it was just such beautiful technique.
I still think, Kev, that touch from Diego Luna has gone over a few people's heads. The way the ball is going into him, if he tries to control that normally, I think it goes too far. The defender or keeper will get it. He knew he had to hit that into the ground to take the pace off of it. But then after the finish as well, he took half a second and then went under the keeper. So as the ball's coming up, he goes under the keeper. It was brilliant. I want to ask you in the chat, please go and watch that goal again. I know you may think that was a tap-in. This was genius. Brilliance. Pure brilliance.
That's one you got to watch back in slow motion to see how he used the sole of his foot to push it down into the ground. But very deftly as well. I agree completely with Brad. That was different level. That's not something that you teach.
No,
there's no coach that's ever going to say that ball's bouncing across the box. Yeah. Make sure you use the sole of your foot. No, when you're a kid, people are trap the ball with the inside of your foot. Don't use the outside of your foot. Use the inside of your foot. And you got to think, no, that's from playing in the street. That's from playing with your friends. That's from trying things, right? He's tried things in training, and he's done that before in training to figure out this works for me.
Yeah.
And he puts the ball in the back of the net. That was sick.
Isn't he someone you want to bottle up, though? You want to bottle it up and figure out what is it that makes him so special right now as a person and as a player. As a player, we're talking already on the show about the 10 and the second striker, if you like. Luna can play out wide, obviously, and has done so for the national team as well. But that skill, that ingenuity, that element of being a jazz player as an athlete that we don't really see anymore. The personality on the field, the pink hair, the fact that a young kid asked him to do a celebration and he scores the goal and he does the celebration. Sash, these are the moments that you want to bottle up that personality, and you wish you could nearly give it to certain other guys instead of being so media trained, and so self-aware. Just be yourself out there on the pitch.
This is the part where I look back on my career, and I wish I could be 40 years old now telling my 21-year-old self, who I used to play like that, I had stuff like that, and say, Sash, play your whole career that way. Don't ever lose that. And I would tell Diego Luna, don't ever lose that. When you get older and you start worrying about winning more and making the right play every time you touch the ball, no, entertain as well. Entertain the fans, entertain your teammates, entertain yourself. Be that same person for your whole career, because I feel like I lost that towards the end of my career, where I played more safe and I worried more about the right play and about winning than entertaining. And he's got that right now.
Why did you lose that? What happens?
I think you think more about what's the right play. If I try this crazy outside the foot pass, maybe 1 time out of 10, it ends up with Bradley on a breakaway, and maybe a few other, it gets cut out. Maybe it leads to a counterattack, and you think, no, it's not worth the risk.
You know why? Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
No, go.
I was going to say it almost, Kev, turns into a job, and you want to stay in the team. You want your passing ratio to be, at a respectable level. So then you stop doing the things that made you good or why you enjoyed football. I think I was the biggest victim of this. I was so bad with that, like just not playing with a freedom. And people might look at my career and think, no, he done well. I wasn't taking a player into the corner, a defender, and doing step overs. I was just thinking it wasn't worth it to me. Control the ball, put it out wide, get in the box, And yes, that can work, but I know Diego Luna enjoys the game of football. He enjoyed the 90 minutes more than I did. 90 minutes for me was stressful. It was stressful. I could score a goal, and then after that goal I score, I'll be in the pitch thinking, now I have to score next week. If I don't score next week, my ratio's gone down. That's not fun. That isn't fun,
That's a shame, isn't it?
Plays the game the right way, yeah.
But there's a reason we all love Ronaldinho for his entire career. Zinedine Zidane. Like, it is called a beautiful game because of players like him, or going back through the years of the way George Best played the game, Maradona, Lionel Messi, obviously, as well. I don't know how we counteract that within the game, Sash, because I hope that the street baller element of Diego Luna will just inspire other kids coming through to play with that freedom. And maybe these players are being overcoached, and maybe this is an element of, well, we should be giving praise to Pablo Mastroeni for unleashing that and allowing him play and being his true self on the field.
I think we have a lot of coaches in MLS that we can applaud for that, who allow their number 10s, their dynamic players in attack to be themselves and to say, do your thing, express yourself. How often have we heard coaches tell kids, express yourself? The best advice, right?
Yeah.
Play within the team, play within the game. But when you have your moments, express yourself. Sometimes when you get to the professional level, you know, there's only like one guy on the field that actually gets to express himself, you know, often. And so I think we have some great coaches in MLS that have told their players express themselves. I think Ricky Pooch is a great example of this as well. It shows how valuable he is to his team with how bad Galaxy has been this season and how good he was last year. I actually think he had to kind of change. He changed Greg Vanney, right? Vanney wants to play in a 4-3-3, very positional, very tactical.
Yeah.
Ricky doesn't fit into that box. Ricky gets on the ball and does what he wants, right? And makes plays happen and is pure entertainment. He's a phenomenal personality in this league that can do things like that. And I think Greg Vanney has understood that. I can't put him in a box. I have to let him be himself and express himself.
The game is more rogues, Kev. More 100%.
Rogues. But isn't it so important, Brad, that like I know you guys have lived it. I wish I would have been able to live it if I was good enough. You'll see out in the local field here. I'm clearly not. But that players make the right moves if and when they do make a move, either within MLS or beyond. And it's not just about the club name. You know, I think of a guy beyond MLS. Like I think of Jack Grealish, for example, and the freedom that he had playing under Dean Smith at Aston Villa. Dean Smith now at Charlotte. He goes to play under Pep Guardiola and he's just a shadow of the former player from Aston Villa. And I think of a guy like Luna then and the amount of suitors that he'll have around world football, Brad.
Yeah.
But the next move for him, wherever that is, maybe he stays at RSL for a long time and cements himself as an absolute club legend, or maybe he moves within MLS like Evander did or beyond. Wherever that is, it can't be about the money, right? It can't be about the decisions off the... It's got to be about the conditions on the field, right?
100%. And your example with Grealish, and then you're talking about Luna, is perfect. But then it comes down to the player, because this is why we're talking about the game, you know, globally being a little bit boring without some of these rogues. Because Jack Grealish will say now, but look at my trophy cabinet. And, you know, or look at my bank account. He can say that. But us watching Jack Grealish, we're not enjoying it when he's at Man City. That's not the person we, you know, subscribe to. That's not the person that got me out of my seat when I'm watching him. So Diego Luna maybe eventually get to a stage where he's going to have to choose bank account, freedom on the pitch, you know, or trophies, freedom on the pitch. Hopefully for him, he can find a team that lets him do that and they win. He can win being himself. But your example of Jack Grealish was perfect, because a lot of people are going to say, listen, give me the trophy cabinet. No one can tell me anything.
Guys, later on tonight, we've got a cracker of a game that we've got to look forward to here. And I want to dive in on it because it's one that whets the appetite for more reasons than one. It's Miami with Messi leading the charge on home soil, fresh off a 3-0 loss at Bank of America Stadium, taking on Seattle Sounders. The reason it's so mouthwatering is the League's Cup final just a couple of weeks ago when they got into this huge big scrap. Seattle played them off the park, although Miami did have some big time chances, Messi and Allende, in the second half. Tonight means so much for both of these teams, doesn't it? In the Supporters' Shield race, but even toward momentum as we approach the playoffs here next month. What do you think, Sash?
Massively, Kev. Massive game tonight. Miami still believes they're in the Supporters' Shield race, and to be honest, they kind of have it in their own hands. They've got, 9 games left or 8 games left now?
Yeah,
They've probably got to win all of them if they want to win the Supporters' Shield, or close to it, 7 of the 8 at least. So big game. Obviously, Suarez, rightly so, suspended for this one, but I would think there's going to be a little of bad blood to start this game, and there's going to be a few tackles that probably fly in early on in this one. I think that'll be very interesting to watch. Obviously, Seattle has to travel and go far for this game, so it'll be intriguing, but it's about Messi. Messi had that chance in the League's Cup final where he skied it over the goal from close range off that clever pass from Suarez, something we often don't see him miss the target from there.
No.
I want to see what he does tonight to get this team back on track.
He missed. That was frustration, Sash. That was Messi being hassled all game, snatched at it, something that we spoke about earlier with Vander. You know, they got him in a place to where he wasn't comfortable on the field. He wasn't happy. Shout out to Seattle. Going back to your point, that brawl they had, that's nowhere near done with. If you're in that Inter Miami changing room now, you can't wait for these guys to come here. You're gonna want to throw that back in their face. That was a humbling they had up in Seattle, and for a trophy, they're gonna be hurt. They're gonna be hurt, and I expect to see a real reaction from Inter Miami.
This is where I'm massively intrigued by the player's perspective here. If you're Seattle Sounders, right, you've gone and won the game, but Miami, with their experience, may try and get under their skin here a little bit, or poke the bear if they can a little bit. What would your advice be to Seattle Sounders youngsters heading into a game like this, especially a guy like Obed Vargas, for example, who had to do a lot of interviews post-game, post-collision with say, Busquets and Suarez and Falcon and these guys after the game? What would you be saying to Obed?
Keep your cool. Keep your cool and just do the same thing again. Let your play on the field do the talking, which I thought he did in the Leagues Cup final. I thought he was smart at the end of the Leagues Cup final, not to get baited into anything. You know, he was laughing a little bit in their face and was, you know, maybe jawing a little bit, but he never threw a punch. He never did anything. So stay focused. Listen, you better believe that some of those Inter Miami players are going to try to get under your skin. So stay focused on the game. That's what really matters.
It's going to be a good one, guys. It really is. That match later on tonight on Apple TV, Inter Miami, this time at home. It's not at Lumen Field with over 50,000 fans. This one's in Miami with Seattle making the long trek across. And one of the guys who's been starring for the Sounders of late, he led the line in the Leagues Cup final. He was banging in goals for fun. And he's got that thing that we talked about on this show an awful lot, personality. He seems to have it, shaking and baking on the field afterwards. And Brad, you and I were lucky enough a couple of days ago to catch up with the young star that is Osaze De Rosario. After the Leagues Cup final, we were all buzzing to one day talk to Osaze De Rosario and chat a little football, but more importantly, life itself. Osaze, BWP and I are thrilled to be chatting with you. How are you, pal?
All is good. I'm thrilled to chat with you guys as well. All is well.
What was it, B-Dubs, when we saw this guy perform? The celebrations, the fun, the dancing afterwards. There was something special that caught your eye, wasn't there?
Nah, it was the confidence, how free he was, Kev. Just seeing those celebrations, man. I was almost envious. You know, I was a little bit too humble for my liking. But watching you brought a big smile on my face, Osaze. It was good to see. Look at those dances.
It's this. This is Gillian Sakovitz chatting with the De Rosario family. Your dad says shaking and baking here. And then your mom, Brandy, just runs with it. Go straight into it. I mean, Osaze, talk to us. What is your mom like the real? Tell us more about Brandy.
Yeah, I mean, she was feeling it that day. I mean, she was there. She's there in the background, you know, where nobody could see, but she's shaking and baking all the time. She was happy, you know, everybody was happy, you know, so it was just the vibe. It was just the vibe.
Hey, Osaze, she's doing that better than your dad, man. Who did she teach him that celebration? She got better rhythm. Who'd you get your rhythm from?
I got my rhythm. You have to feel it. It's honestly an in-game moment where you have to feel the shake and bake. Yeah.
Hey, are you going to run with it? Osaze, are you going to run with this celebration?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to run with it. This is my celebration now.
Oh, hey, so why didn't you do it in the final when you scored?
To be honest, I don't bring it out every time.
Okay.
I bring it out when it's a big goal. When I really have to style, on them.
Sorry, I thought it was a case of emotion. You know, when you score in a big game, sometimes you forget your celebration. It's just all about celebrating with the team. I've done that sometimes where I plan to do heel clicks, but then when I score, I've lost my mind, and I thought it was a case of that.
No, that actually comes into part two. It was a case of that because I was like, at first I can't believe it, and I just wanted to run to the crowd. I just wanted to just, you know, feel the energy. Yeah. It didn't come about to do the shake and bake in that moment.
You say you couldn't believe it because, let's be honest, at the start of the season, could you ever have imagined yourself in a cup final beating Lionel Messi, given where you were at the start of the year?
Oh, yeah, I dreamed of it. So I guess that's half the battle. And just being in it is just finishing it off.
Can I ask both of you guys, does it help to be in a professional environment? Because Osaze, you and BWP have a lot in common. Brad's dad, Ian Wright, absolute legend, one of the greatest strikers in Premier League history. And you grow up in that environment that, like, I'd love to know, does confidence come naturally because you see your dads doing their thing?
I'll let Osaze go first.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I seen my dad win championships. I know what it takes, and he showed me, he raised me to be a footballer through and through. So anything that I do and everything that I know is just football based because that's how I was raised.
See, my story's similar, Kev, but how do you deal with the pressure and the expectation? Is that something that's troubled you?
Pressure. The pressure comes with the territory. So you gotta just be confident. That's me. I just have to be confident. When every time I step on a football pitch, I know I belong.
Is it that easy, guys? You're making it sound really simple.
I didn't find it that easy, if I'm being honest. Kev, I would actually, when I was a kid, I would lie. You know, if I was at a tournament and kids would come up to me or parents and say, "Is your daddy in right?" I'd say no. And at the time, I thought I was just being humble. But I think it was to deal with the expectations. You know, if they think, yeah, this is Bradley Ian Wright's son, now he has to be amazing. And I think I done that from an early age. But you seem to take it well, Osaze, and I respect it.
Yeah, no, I've always taken, anytime anybody asked me who my dad was, I was actually excited to say, like, yeah, like, my dad's like the best.
Love
So,
that. You're
What was he like?
than me.
Osaze, what was he like as a kid? There's 4 of you kids in the house, right? And it must have been a bit of a mad house. Brandy obviously seems like a major personality in the family. Is he like, you know, giving you choke slams on the couch, messing around? Is there like a 2-on-2?
yeah, I mean, we have a lot of boys in the house. It was me, my dad, my little brother, and my youngest brother. So we would always, be fighting rough housing and get into a lot of trouble. Just doing wild things. We were always outside. Me and all my brothers. My little brother's a goalkeeper, and I'm a striker. So that just the combination sets in like that. So I'm always shooting on him, and I'm always getting my reps on my little brother. So it's wicked.
I can see, Brad. I can see where you're going here, buddy.
Do you know why, Kev? I'm jealous because you remember being a kid, Kev. All you wanted was a goalkeeper. I would have so many friends, my brothers. We all want to play out. We all want to play on the pitch. We had no goalkeeper. They've got one in their house. It's unbelievable. That's good times.
Yeah, but how does the son of Dwayne De Rosario become a goalkeeper?
Yeah, what's he doing, man? What is he doing?
Hey, he chose that. He chose that. Yo, I'm tired of scoring goals. I want to be able to save them. And he was a good striker back in the day. He used to play striker, and then one day he was like, "I'm scoring too much goals. I want to be a goalie." For real.
I love that.
Well, he's got a good personality too. We saw him at the Goalie Wars.
We did.
All-Star.
We did. You guys are blessed with that personality. Osaze, I want to take you back because Kev touched on the beginning of the season. And I want to know your mindset. Let's go to preseason. I'm thinking of you now, walking into that locker room. You got Jordan Morris in front of you, Jesus Ferreira, Danny Masowski, and then there's you. Where did you think you're ending up this season? Could you see yourself scoring in the final of the League's Cup?
Well, making it on the first team was my first goal on the for the season. I mean, it was just making sure I get my goals every game and making sure I'm in and working harder than these guys and just training more and building myself up to the next level. In preseason, of course, I'm seeing big names and thing, but that wasn't really my focus. My focus wasn't on them. My focus was on my own craft and the things I have to do every time I get the opportunity to be on the pitch. So that was my
international team. I'm sure you could have played for the US or Canada, right? But you're playing for Guyana?
Yeah, I mean, Guyana had a good pathway for me. I mean, they came in at the right time, and I felt like that was my opportunity to be on the national stage.
I love that. What's the record goal scorer got for Guyana?
21.
Oh, what you at?
I'm at 6 in
Let's go, man.
8.
You got time.
I love the way there was zero hesitation. What's the record? 21.
He knows. 21. You gotta know. I love that.
Hey, Brad, you should have done this earlier in your career, man. You should have gone and played for Jamaica at a young age.
I should have. By the time I got into those conversations, Kev, I was 32, 33. The knees, not great. I just had to focus on club football.
Yeah. How exciting was it, though, to put on the jersey and tell us about the sense of pride of representing Guyana?
Oh yeah, my grandparents, they're born in Guyana, so just being able to go back to my roots is very special to put on the jersey and show off, my talent in front of the whole country is very big. To win a big trophy, one of the first players to win a big trophy in my country is just very big. I'm just pushing the standard for my national team.
I love that. And let's take it outside of football a little bit. Osaze, if I'm a 25-year-old, I just joined your team, I'm looking at you, you're the cool guy in the locker room. Where are we going? When we're not at training, what are we doing? What do you do?
We're going to the lake. It's Seattle. You got to go to the lake. I mean, it's during the summer. You have to go to the lake. You got to enjoy the great outdoors. You got to go to the river. You got to go far, do hikes and thing. So that's my kind of vibe in Seattle. That's what the guys have shown me.
Are you
Who'd
fishing?
you go with? Oh, fishing. Sorry, Kev. Go on.
No, you fishing,
fish-
Osaze?
A little bit, but I do dibble and dabble with the fishing. I'm not that good. It's not like I catch all the time, but I definitely have friends that fish and I join them.
Because here's the thing, Bradley Wright-Phillips, Dax McCarty, Sacha Kljestan and I were looking for a bit of a lads trip in the off season. We're talking about ideas, right? There's been a trip to Europe to meet up with Bastian Schweinsteiger and go skiing. I don't know, man. Go hiking with Osaze, a little bit of fishing, hit the lake.
It'll be a competition like always, but first one up the hill, first one back. But
I don't know about hiking.
Here we have the salmon run, so that's always cool.
Nice. I don't know about hiking, Kev. That one's not for me. I need a hotel room. I need room service. You know my story. That's not my story. Hiking. Who's your close mates on the team? You're obviously all close. You can see how the team plays, but who you get on with the best?
I get on with Musaski and Jordan. I actually get on with the two strikers because I always want to talk with them. I always want to know just how they are, just who they are because they've done it. They're professional. So I always want to know him and be a part of their group.
Yeah,
I love asking young players who they model their game off, or even just simply look up to, and your dad can't be the answer here. I've asked BWP this before, and as a kid growing up, his answer was R9, the original Ronaldo from Brazil. Who was it for? Yeah, I'm the same as you. We're both doing this here. Who was it for you, Osaze, growing up?
Yeah, it was Ronaldo Nazario. It was definitely the R9. It was definitely watching him. He's a phenomenon. And Adriano. I love watching Adriano. I still watch Adriano to this day.
I see
and
Ronaldo in you. I see that.
You see a little Adriano in me?
I see that. Now when you say that, I see that, man.
I like that.
Yeah, those are my two strikers that I really pay close attention to.
Respect between the big men. Hey, I have to ask you, you spent a stint playing over in Ukraine. I'm sure there's a story there as how you end up in Ukraine, but obviously your time there cut short with the war between Russia and Ukraine. How do you feel about how it's all played out and your experience?
The experience is what I take. It was a great experience to understand football on the Eastern European scale, on a different place, far from home, just really becoming a man at those times because I was a teenager turned into a young man. And it was great. It was a great experience. Those guys were hard. Those guys were tough. They didn't want to speak English in Ukraine. They only want to speak Russian. So I had to learn a little bit of Russian. And living on my own out there in the world teach you a lot outside of football. It's a mental strengthening that I gained from that to keep pushing and keep and then afterwards, when I get my mark, I'm here in the MLS now. So I feel like everything played out very well.
I'm so tempted to test you on that Ukrainian. Like, what words do you know? Give me a sentence.
Jak sprawa.
Okay. Oh, it surprised me. I don't know what it means, but okay, the pronunciation sounded legit.
It's how are you? And jak zvate. So you would say Bradley Wright-Phillips because what's your name.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
if
you look like you got something.
I want to go a little bit deeper here because I can tell you're a deep thinker and I can tell you've got gratitude for everything in your life, just the way you speak and how much fun you have. If you could sum up your journey in one I am affirmation, what would it be and why? I'm Osaze De Rosario and I am.
I'm Osaze De Rosario and I'm great. I am a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a champion. That's
Love that.
It's amazing.
Love
your
that.
confidence
Keep
is
that
amazing.
going.
You have to make that stay with you throughout your career. Yeah. It's refreshing, man.
Well, how important, Brad, is that confidence as a striker?
No, it's unbelievable because there's going to be times in your career, and even maybe through the rest of the season where things don't quite go as well as you wanted them to. But the mindset you have is the thing that stays with you the whole time throughout your career. And if that doesn't waver as often, I'm pretty sure your career goes as well as I think it will go, because confidence is everything. Everything, man. My one regret in the game was just doubting myself and having, those fears about not doing well. You don't seem to have that. So keep it up.
I'll say I do have sometimes, especially when you play against Messi, you do have that fear. But once the ball gets rolling, you quickly get over it.
Nah, I respect.
Does it help? Does it help in those moments? Your goal was obviously, inside the 6, excellent delivery from Alex Roldan. And does it help to score that sort of goal, guys? I'm asking both of you here. I'll start with you, Brad, because you nearly don't have much time to think. You're in the right position now. Just put it away.
No, you're right, Kev, 100%. Sometimes you just want those ones that the chances that you practice week in, week out in training, because it's just rhythm after that. And I'll say, Saucy, you missed one earlier, and I thought, damn, when you're playing against Inter Miami, you need to take these chances. So it was good to see you get another one and, stay confident and put it in the back of the net. Yeah, but for me, Kev, you like a nice, easy one that you can just focus on technique.
Yeah, no, agreed. The delivery was great from Alex Roldan. The buildup was great from the team. And it was just a wide open slide at back post. But you want those as a striker early in the game to push your team forward, get the first step. And we're in our home stadium, so it really got the crowd on our back as well. So it was just a good momentum push throughout the game.
Osaze, you're a gem. You really are, man. Yeah, keep shaking and baking. Keep that confidence going. Keep scoring goals. And we want to keep covering you and promoting you because you are an absolute star. Thanks so much for joining us, pal.
Facts. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really enjoyed that conversation with a young striker full of confidence right now. Lovely comment coming in here on the chat from Mustafa saying, as much as I'm the biggest Dwayne fan, it's so amazing to see now his son bossing and taking his chances. What did you take away from that chat, Brett?
No, it was nice to get to know him, on a personal level, because we've seen what he does on the pitch. He's a big boy, uses his body well, obviously can score goals, but just to get the personality, just to hear how confident he was and also, it's a player with a career ahead of him, and he just seems like he's enjoying the journey, and that's what you can't forget. It was good to talk to him.
He's taken the most of his opportunities so far in this season. I don't think he could have predicted that he would get these opportunities this season, but the game of football, just like life, is when something is presented in front of you, you got to be ready for it and grasp it with both hands, and he's done that.
Well said, lads. Well said. Listen, he scores goals on the doorstep. We saw a goal scored in MLS over the weekend that left us with our jaws on the floor. Nectarios Triantis, the best name in all of Major League Soccer. He's an Aussie though, right, Sash? He's an Aussie. Scoring from inside his own half. The most audacious effort that left Eric Ramsey. There's a great video head to Minnesota United's social accounts of Ramsey watching him like cue it up to shoot. Then all of a sudden watching his reactions change as the ball is sailing through the sky, Sash. This was just one of those epic moments, wasn't it?
Kev, you know this about me. I've mentioned this a few times to you and to Bradley, how I dreamt of scoring a goal like that my entire career. And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how you get later in your career, you don't try stuff anymore, crazy things. I never even attempted it, right? Yeah. I thought to myself before every game, watch the goalkeeper, see if he's off his line. And then I never even tried. This guy tried it on his debut, this young man in a new country on his debut. What a way to lay. There cannot be a Minnesota United fan, no matter what he does for the next few months, and say, I don't like that guy. Like, you are universally loved after a debut like that. That was sick.
Sash, when you say that to me, I'm disappointed because it's acceptable for me to not try that. My range is 2 to 8 yards. That's where I'm taking my shots. But you have the technique for that. There's no way you
100%.
You had to try that.
Like,
you have
Brad,
to.
I used to play the crossbar game all the time, and I'd be going back to half line trying to hit the crossbar. Like, I can do it.
You're a coward, man. You're an absolute coward.
I was.
You're playing it too safe.
Too safe. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If I could talk to Nectarios, mate, I'd be like, hey, Nectarios, mate, keep trying it. How's my Aussie accent, man?
Terrible. No, your accents are normally good. That one weren't as good.
But I'd be like, Nectarios, keep doing that. Like, be yourself.
No, that's iconic, right? Like, when you grew up watching football, there's going to be a kid or somebody that maybe just watched their first game or just popped on that station or Apple TV and that was on. Mm-hmm. You're going to like him, and you might like Minnesota now. If you just think about the David Beckham goal.
I knew you'd bring this up. Will you stop bringing up the David Beckham goal? The Beckham goal happened about 30 years ago. We've got about 3 of these a year in Major League Soccer.
I'm saying though, Kev, how many fans did that bring? Born from that moment. Do you know what I mean?
When I watched that goal happen from David Beckham, he's on the midline. He's caught Sullivan off his line. I can remember the commentary. He's caught Sullivan off his line. Oh! Yeah. I didn't think that you were even allowed to do that in soccer back then. Like, who could even think to try something like that? I didn't even know if players could kick the ball that far.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably 7, 8, 9 years old when I watched that happen. And I thought to myself, what were you thinking? I honestly, I didn't know people could kick the ball that far to even try that. So yes, I hope some fans were watching that for the first time being like, whoa, that's insane.
I just think this is the league. We're going full circle here with our conversation because this is the league that's so unpredictable, so bonkers and wacky, and the mayhem elements to it that we love. Lucas Zelarayan, Luca Orosciano. You go through the amount of players that have done this in recent years. Pablo Ruiz, that have scored these phenomenal goals from the halfway line. We tend to see it here in Major League Soccer more than others. We also had a player drafted for Toronto back in the day, Sash, who's starring now. Brandon Aubrey is a kicker in the NFL, and am I right in saying he's one of the best kickers out there?
He might be the best kicker in the NFL right now. He has been phenomenal for the Dallas Cowboys. Got a massive leg on him, super accurate. So respect to Brandon Aubrey. You know, obviously was at Toronto, realized he wasn't really making it into the first team. Playing in the NFL now on Sundays and knocking them in. I mean, I think he made 5 field goals this weekend. Guy was on fire.
Respect to Brandon Aubrey. Listen, you know, NFL's not my sport, but I support him because he finessed the game.
It's not your story.
It's not my
story. Your story.
He finessed the NFL. I could go over there and kick field. What do you call them? Field goals.
You know what it's called.
I don't. What field goals, right? I'll go over there and kick those all day. Well done to him. He finessed that sport. He's unbelievable, by the way. I do it. Sash, do you think you could beat me in one of those?
I know I could beat you.
100%, Brad.
Why? You think Sash will beat me, Kev?
I'm picking Sash every day of the week. Yeah.
Why would you pick Kev? I'm the best. He played on the same team. No, Sash, let me talk.
You just said you scored from 2 to 8 yards.
Let me talk. Yeah. Let me talk. No, I hid the other side of me, the far drive. You know, I got that in my locker. Anyway, we played on the same team. I was the best at putting the football into the white object. It's just a different object now. You think I'm going to let him outscore me? Kev, use your brain. Think about it.
The poles are yellow, though. It's different, Brad. It's not white.
Doesn't matter.
I'm going with Sash, man.
Wow.
If it came to, I'm definitely not picking Dax, even though Dax has a great pass.
Dax hasn't got the leg strength.
You know what we're gonna do when we go to MLS Cup this year, because this is like the one time we're out on the road together. We go to MLS Cup the day before MLS Cup. We're gonna go to our local NFL team wherever this game is.
Yes,
we're gonna go kick some field goals.
Say no more.
All right, listen. If you had to pick one player, NFL came to you today, NFL scouts, and said, "Give me one player from Major League Soccer that could be a kicker." Who are you picking and why?
That's a great question. I'm doing Evander. Just technique. Never fails him.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
It's a good shot. I got a better one. I'm going Dane St. Clair. All goalkeepers do is kick the ball as far as they can.
I'm not going with a goalkeeper.
I'm going with a goalkeeper.
This is the guy you think will beat me.
I would take every goalkeeper in the league against most field players in the league. All they do is kick the ball 70 yards down the field.
They kick
especially
it off
one
the
who
pitch.
plays for Minnesota United.
Off the pitch for an opposition throwing.
I'm going with a player. If I could bring him back to MLS, the guy straight away, I'd pick him, obviously, and he has experience with college football. Tanner Tessman. I'll never forget his MLS. I think it was his MLS debut. And I was on commentary for an Atlanta-Dallas game. And I remember seeing this kid pinging passes that I've never seen before in the game and making it look so effortless. He's an incredible long-range passer. Tanner Tessman, for me, will be the one.
So if we're changing the rules and just bringing people out.
All right, you're right.
I'm taking David Beckham. David, come on, Davey. Kick us one through the uprights, don't ya?
I think I'd go Evander as well.
Yeah, Evander.
I'm with
Sasha's
Brad.
going goalkeeper. We're safe.
Huh?
Sasha's going goalkeeper. We're safe. I think our pick is safe.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys. Let us know. We're going to keep this show rolling with us three fellas here, just having casual conversations about our beautiful game and about how bonkers MLS is. Fellas, you sitting back tonight, relaxing, watching Miami-Seattle, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
It's going to be a good one.
We got Champions League to watch right now.
Let's go
Beautiful
Arsenal,
day
man.
of football.
What's
Folks, we
Arsenal
love
doing,
you.
Brad? Still 0-0.
I don't know. I'm at work, so I don't want to check in yet.
Fair play,
After
Brad.
this, I'll check.
Dedicated to the cause. I love it. MLSstore.com if you want to go and get this. A beautiful collab with Gentefina and Chicago Fire. A top quality t-shirt that the Fire sent my way. So thank you so much, guys. We love you, but we got to go. Thanks a mil for joining us here on This Is MLS. My first time on the show. I enjoyed it, fellas. Good chat about the beautiful game. We're taking our chats from whether it's the coffee shop or the pub onto This Is MLS, and enjoyed it every single step of the way. So thanks a million. Any final thoughts?
See you on Saturday.
No.
360. Hashtag MLS 360. Cheers, guys. Thanks a mil for joining us. We'll chat soon, okay? All the best.
See you later, mate.